what I need to do is I need to find a line that's going to bisect the circle in half, and then I'm going to need a couple midpoints in the top middle and the bottom middle, so to speak, or the quarter of the way down and 3/4 of the way down. So I'm going to click on the midpoint is turned on, so I'm on the top of the rectangle. It's going all the way through to the center point of the circle, and you'll see there's a dotted line that's called a polar snap. Lets you know that it's snapped either horizontally or vertically. I can right click and I just hit enter when I'm happy with that line. What I do need is the midpoint right here. I need the midpoint right there and right there. So if I were to grab the circle tool, it's not showing up. And I did that on purpose. I'm going to right click and I'm going to cancel out of the circle tool, and I'm going to delete that line. What I wanted to do is I wanted from the center point up to this circle, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit repeat line, and I'm going to go to the center point and I'm going to go down to there. So now there's two distinct line segments. Two distinct line segments, and then each one will allow me to select the midpoint. Also notice that I stopped at the circle. We're dealing with the circle. We want the midpoint within this space, not the border outside. So it's good to know how to back out of something if you made a mistake, and there's a couple tips on how to do that. So I'm going to select the circle tool. I'm going to go to the midpoint, and I'm just going to go to the top, and it'll snap there. Right click, repeat circle, drag it down to the midpoint, or excuse me, to the end point of the line, and I have two circles. Now a new tool, it's very handy, and if you're doing another design where you may be free flowing some drawings more and you have some crisscrossing lines, you need to trim things up, this is a very handy tool. It's called Trim. So I'm going to click on this Trim tool. It's got a line going dashed through it, and then some dotted lines. And then I'm going to select all the lines involved. All the lines involved. I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to click on the line that I want to be trimmed out. So then I right click and hit enter. I accept that move. Right click again, and I'm going to hit repeat trim. Select all the lines involved, so it's the circle and the line that's dissecting the circle. Right click and then choose the lines that I want to trim out. And then right click again, hit enter to accept that. I don't need these lines anymore, so I can simply click on the vertical lines up and down and just hit delete. The yin-yang symbol is taking shape. I can go over towards the tool menu. I can get the circle, and you want that to be snapped in the center, and luckily Object Snap has a default for center snap. So if you hover around the circle, it's going to bring up those available snaps: top, midpoint, bottom, and center. And I'm going to utilize the command window again. I'm going to put 1.5 or 0.15 as my diameter of my circle, and I'm just going to hit enter, and it's going to snap to that. And that's nice because I can repeat that circle. I can go over to the circle and you see the midpoint snap comes up, and then the center of the circle comes up, and I can type in 1.5 again. So I know these two circles are identical, the two inner circles. And now we have a yin-yang symbol. The next video, I'm going to manipulate the drawing a little bit to prepare us to export it to WinCam to cut it out on the mill.